You are only one assumption away from being very rich, very healthy, very loving, being loved very much. Whatever it is you want, you can have it by assuming it to be true. This video is based on the first law of the Kabbalion, the principle of mentalism, that the universe is in its entirety mental. The current reality you are looking at, your point of view, is totally created by you. Not a thing in it is not represented by an assumption on your behalf. Sometimes you are lucky or unlucky. None of these words really make any sense, but let's just use them for now. To stumble across something that instills a good or a bad thing in you. And then from there, you just keep on assuming it to be true. It is like that with health. It is like that with riches. And it is like that with love. So maybe you are watching this video from a lucky place or from an unlucky place. Either way, we will solve it. We will create your entire reality as you desired today together. So, what do I mean by only one assumption? We have this pyramid of manifestation. In this pyramid, most of it is tricks, tools, tricks, tips, affirmations, visualizations, stuff that is really meant to get you to the top of the pyramid, where you know something to be true. If you can know something to be true about yourself, you don't need anything else. The assumption is the knowing. So if you just start today assuming something to be true, it will happen very, very rapidly. But as I have mentioned to you before, you will most likely go back to what you already created and see it of proof of your creation. Well, look at my bank account. See, I am what is being reflected there. So you will find yourself broke if you look at your bank account. And then you will keep on assuming yourself to be broke. And you will keep looping that. And that happens in money. That happens in work. Like a lot of the people I work with. Busy people. Rich people. But they somehow, somewhere along the line, connected two dots, working hard, making money, and then they assume it to be true that I need to struggle for my money. That is also an assumption prison. Let's call it that. You are assuming it to be true, therefore it is true. Everything that you believe is slowly, nobody knows when, is slowly being solidified as reality. So what we need to do is change our perception. We cannot stay in our current perception, employ tricks on reality and change it. We cannot. We need to realize and stick with the law of mentalism, right? The law that states that everything out here was once in here. So we just stick with that. We assume something. So today I would like to invite you to assume something. Not today, but for the rest of your life. Something to be true that you would like at this moment. And then just start from the inside. Assume it to be true. Because this is how you create wealth at a rapid pace. This is how you create health at a rapid pace. This is how you create love at a rapid pace. Realizing you already have it within if you assume it to be true. So I would like for you to go around, look at this reality as if it's dying in front of your eyes. This you're looking at is a movie. And it's always just slightly behind the script being written, right? So you're looking at something that was written 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago. And you can see that it's dying. And I really invited in like, okay, so this is what I was manifesting some time back. And now I'm manifesting some different stuff. How do I do that? By assuming it to be true without seeing it. If I would like wealth, I cannot look out here because I'm looking at what has already been created by me some earlier point in this present moment, right? So please disconnect. There's no separation, But for the matter of this game that we're playing, creating reality, make the separation. Or turn it the other way around. So instead of looking at your bank account for abundance, create your bank account by being abundant. Assume it to be true. So you're just one assumption away from a totally different life if you can stick to it. And you can, because you can know it to be true, that it's not outside world dictating who you are. It is your internal world that is dictating what outside world is. Right? That is how you succeed in business, in life, in love. It's really sticking to that. The greatest analogy, when you take that story and take it to metaphysics, is from Christianity. Right? The crucifixion. You have to die to your old sins to become new. And sin means to step out of alignment of what you really want, what you are meant for. When you don't believe in that, you're sinning. You're stepping out of power with God, consciousness, Allah, source, whatever you call it. Then you're sinning. And then you crucify the version of you that is sinning, like a mental crucifixion. You simply delete it. You let it rest. That is not me anymore. New me has a new assumption. Might still recognize old me, but old me created old reality. New me is creating new reality. So it's simply believing in the unseen, because we know, and we're slowly getting to know it from metaphysics as well, the scientific community. They slowly also know that it's way more reality internally. Like that's way more true than outside reality. We cannot accept the thing we see and hear and smell as reality, because it's simply only a reflection. All right? Did I forget something? I don't think so. Yes, two things. You will find excuses, but you will realize that you will have to switch one day. You will go back. I'm struggling. I just got a bill. I'm struggling with money. Nope. That's an internal representation. And if you keep on going back, you're part-time manifesting, as I've mentioned before. You will manifest half of the time being abundant at night and at morning, and then you will spend your entire day in lack. Believing in that perception, going outside of yourself, giving your power away, sinning. Right? And you can do this today by doing my meditation here on the YouTube channel. You will realize that you are the point of attraction. And sometimes I also invite my clients in, or you here on YouTube, to close your eyes and imagine a grid that is empty. This somehow aligns with the people who calls this the simulation, the matrix. I don't use that word. It's the same thing though, right? You are looking at a grid, and that grid is being filled with stuff. Stuff from your subconscious, stuff from God, Source, the All, Allah, you name it. So if you can just close your eyes, visualize this grid, visualize that it's empty, but also know it to be true that you're not moving through time. You are always in the present moment. You were never in the past. Mention a time you were in the past. You can't. In that image you are seeing, you were also in the present moment. You are never in the future. You are simply also in the present moment, like you are right now, and right now, and right now. And that is easier to visualize if you close your eyes, imagine that grid. Lines, dots, whatever you would like to imagine. It's dark. And you fill it up. And if you were to go somewhere, to the supermarket right now, that grid would change in front of you. So you would not move in that grid would move towards you. That is how manifestation works. And depending on who you are in that grid, who you are in terms of vibration in that grid, that changes really that grid moving towards you. So is it moving from here? Is it moving from here? What is being shown? Your current reality? The thing being pulled towards you should be the abundant, healthy, wise, loving version of your life, right? It really should be, and it is out there. You just simply have to be it first. And when you are it, you step into that timeline. So every timeline requires you to tune into it with your vibration. And that vibration really is a knowing. When Neville Goddard says getting to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, he's not talking about an emotion. He's talking about knowing that wish to be fulfilled already, internally, by assumption. I assume it to be true already. Because reality, you can't assume anything in outside reality. It is simply not where reality is created. So assuming all the assumptions you do every day right now, they are like air, right? They are like emptiness. You're assuming wrongly. You're looking at stuff and base your assumption on that, but that out there has no qualifications in being the foundation of your assumption. Nothing. Why would you listen to it? Why would you listen to your knee pain? Why would you listen to your empty bank account? Why would you listen to your, bad relationship? It does not determine your internal well-being. And by that, it also does not determine your future reality. And when you look at that grid with closed eyes and see that moving towards you, you can also understand the delay. You can also understand that if you want a specific car or a specific health condition, know that it's somewhere on that line. That is what people mean when they say instant manifestation. It was created on that line. You entered that line, but you still, in physical reality, have to move through physical reality, right? So you're moving through it. So I don't know if it's there tomorrow. The when and the how, it's not really a matter of your concern. Just know it to be true and keep on knowing it. That's the assumption. So if you would like no more knee pain, know it to be true. Tell yourself tomorrow morning, I'm so glad I never had knee pain. Or I'm so glad I was always healthy. And stick to that assumption. When you feel knee pain, tell yourself, well, I don't feel knee pain. I'm so glad that my knees were always perfect. And just assume it to be true. Have that sensation inside your system. And then you know that you're on that timeline where that does not exist. And is it tomorrow? I don't know. I can't tell you, and you can't tell yourself either. You cannot tell yourself how it enters your timeline. Nobody knows, except for the collective consciousness, what you would call God, Allah, Source, whatever. That has created it. It is already created. So manifestation is not instant. Manifestation is already. It's not created in the moment where you see it. It was created. You are aligning with it in the moment you're seeing it, right? So you can have everything you want by assuming it. Just today, assume something to be true. Don't leave it tomorrow and write a comment, well, my bill was not paid. Well, the bill is never paid on the outside. So then what assumption will you stick to? Will you give yourself the great luxury of just start creating your own reality? And then you'll see, but how can I? When will it be paid? Well, I don't know. But I know it will be paid if you stick to that assumption that you are rich and that you have only bills that can be paid. Well, right? Visualize that scene. But I would go way further than that. Just don't stick to small stuff, paying a bill or whatever, right? I would pick the highest assumption about yourself, because there's no words that you cannot use that are very high that cannot be said about God. There's not a word. Like, it's not that you can't use perfect about yourself. You are an extension of that consciousness. So you can say you're perfect. You can say you're the best. You can say you are pure love. You can say that you are wealthy. It does not matter to your internal being. It only matters if you state bad stuff. And you will feel the bad feeling. And that feeling is a sensation that is sent to you from your inner being, telling you, well, you do not believe about yourself right now what God believes about you. Source believes about you. That is what that feeling is there for. Oh, you're stepping out of alignment now. All right? Got it? I think you got it. Assume what you want to be true today. All right? I think that's it. Get out of here. Bye.